Hello, this is Johnny. So about the live video, like I say, I'm not familiar with how to do it from the PC. So when I move around, everything just die on me. So I apologize for that. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you what need to be done, and I also will give you the description, uh, the link to the retro, all this. So let's see if I could open them up and show you guys the information. Now, some of the step, I'm just going to pick up where uh, the guy named Neo from the YouTube, I'm just going to call him Neo because I don't know what's the other stuff stand for. Neo CVR something. Okay, so you need all this link here. So first thing you want to do is, of course, you need to hack it first. All right, you need to have a high-low hack. I have a video on those two, and I'll put that also on the description. This is all the code that's supposed to work with Neogeo Mini and Neogeo Arcade Stick. Okay. Now I noticed that there's one called Neogeo CD, but that do not work with Neogeo CD. Okay, this one right here. You need to use Final Burnout Neo, which is the F right here. They're called let me find the FBA Neo. You need this one. Okay. So for Neogeo CD, you need this one to work for Neogeo CD. For Sega Cd, you need the one called Precompiled, if I pronounce it right. This one right here, down here, the last one. Okay. So you need Precompiled for Sega CD, anything related to Genesis. This is the one you will be using. Okay. So let's talk about mainly the CD today. Okay, how to get the CD working, because and also how to set up the retro. There are a couple of things that I find out was kind of weird. Is that at first I thought was maybe because the image was having issue. So I have download a lot of. I have different one that I have used. I have helped other people from Telegram to get theirs to work, but then mine didn't work. So they gave me their version, and same situation did not work. So it turned out it was a it was a setting, but it wasn't something big. But it does make a big deal because if you don't have that, it probably might not work. Once I add those information in, it actually make my system work. Uh, and then also, this is the latest version, Beta 2, that you want for the ASP. And this is the latest one for Neogeo Mini. Okay. Now, they have came out with Beta 2 for the NVSX cabinet. Okay. Now, since I do not own a NVSX cabinet, I can't really tell you how to go about it. Okay. If I do add anything or do anything with it, somebody have to test it because I can't test it because I don't have one. I don't have the money or the luxury to get a $500 to a $600 cabinet that just play Neo Geo. Okay. Now with a hack, you could play more game. Like with RetroArch, you could play anything pretty much on it, which is cool. All right. So that's why we are doing this, because this is free stuff. This is RetroArch is always been free emulator support, and they don't call it emulator anymore. They call it the Cores, CORES. Okay. Now this is the instruction that you need to follow. You need to add this into your EMU EMUINFO. Okay, so let me open that file, which so you understand which one I'm talking about. And everything is in my iDrive. So you will go to you will download it. Okay, this is the retro, and you need to go in the hack folder. So you would so if you're using Neogeo Mini, you need to go to that folder and go to hack folder and open and edit the. I'm sorry, with Neogeo Mini is different. It's not in the hack folder. It's in the original folder. Okay, but with the well, let me go ahead and open that so that you see. The emu information.txt is out here. Okay, if you see a folder called hack, that one doesn't really do anything. It's just there, but it's from the old setup. It doesn't really do anything. The one you need to change is in here where you open this file. You copy this information in here. Okay. Now, if you're going to do more stuff with it, like adding May 2000 or May 2003, you will have to create your own unique name and then edit this file. You could copy and then rename it and call it May 2003. Okay. So now I don't know why my text file is not opening up. Getting all kind of problem today. Okay. This is the one. This is the original one that is inside the Neogeo Mini. So you will take this file, you will highlight it, copy it, and then paste it in here. If you're going to plan on making your Neogeo Mini to the retro, so you need to add that in. Okay, but let's do the Neogeo Mini in a different video, and let's do this one because I don't want to confuse people because their setup is a little bit different than the one with the red Neogeo ASP. It's similar, but it's different. The path is different and all that stuff. So let's don't do that one. Okay. All right. So the first thing is let's open up all the three links, and then we could start from the beginning and work our way through it. And then I'll tell you what I figured out that all the time. I spent about 3 days trying to figure out why my Johnny's image do not work with retro. And then once I figured out, I was able to get all three of them, the old version and my new version, and the new the version 1.2 that came from Telegram in the past. Okay, so I'm going to put that in here. Let me reply back to this to him. I am doing a video. Once it is done, I will send it out. Okay, so this is beta 2. Okay, so you want to download this one. This one's already compiled for you. So you're going to right click or double click, single click, whatever, how your system is set up. And then you're going to, mine have 2 terabytes. So I'm going to put in my iDrive because I have a lot of space. And I just, save it. Now it's going to say you want to save it because I already downloaded it today. Okay, it's about 87 kilobyte. So once you download it, you unzip it. Okay, and so once you download it, you unzip it, you will get a folder called retro and a folder called ROM. All right. So in that folder called ROM, you're going to put all your ROM in there. So this site is for you to download the beta 2. This one is to tell you how to set it up. Okay, how to set up the rominfo.txt. And this is where you're going to download the core. Like if you want to play Atari, you need to download the Atari chords to put in here. All right. So let's minimize this and let's go ahead and go to the folder structure. Okay. So go to iDrive. Let's go to ASPh, and then we're gonna go ahead and open this. And now the reason I have this name here because I have so many different versions. I don't know which one is which. Okay, because as you can see, I have this old version 3 Telegram 1.2 arcade full loaded CD. I got because I do so many things, I start losing track which one is which. Okay, now this is the last one that I released November 6th. So and this one is 01. I still have it, and so sometimes it's good to keep something. Sometimes you might, oh man, I did something wrong. Do I have old versions I could go back and put it back before I mess it up, those kind of stuff. So I do keep old version around. So that way, in case I need to go back and look for something, I have it. Okay. And so we're going to go this one. And this one is the one that is my fully loaded, including Sega CD in here. About 100 something fully loaded CD is in here. Okay. So in this hack, the only main thing you have to do is you want to make sure you have this file and this file is edited. Okay. And those two files are very important. That's why it took me 3 days and I couldn't get it to work. Okay. Now you might say, Donnie, I don't think that is the reason, but if you never have the problem, you might not believe what I'm telling you, but I have the problem and I couldn't get it to work. I got all my setup correctly. And the only thing I had to do is add this in and then add this other one. Well, let me open the original. Let me open Notepad++. Okay. And I believe the other one is already here. Yeah, this one. Okay. Now you might say, well, that just might be just a freak of nature. You don't really need it. But I don't know. I haven't finally put my foot down, but you need this one for some reason. I don't know why. And you also need this one. Okay. I don't know why. Okay. Apparently, but once it's working, then you could delete it. It will stay working. It just when you first time set up retro, if you do not have this and you do not have this one, it just don't work. Believe me, that's what happened to me. It did not work with my version until I put this in and put this in. Okay, and no space on any of my setup, no space. Okay, once I put those two in, it start kicking in, it start working, and then I find out the other problem I'm having is my game folder. So for example, let's go down all the way down to the bottom and let's talk about how I set it up. And we also going to see the folder so you will know exactly what I'm referring to. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in my note so that way you will have it when I upload this video. So I normally delete it because it was just a tease about getting that program to work. They use a mini player, and so I thought that was kind of okay. I have no use for it. I delete it, but you do need this one, and this one is inside the emuinfo.txt. And that's all I did to fix mine. You might say, really? Because I didn't have it, might work. Now, if yours is working, that's great. But I couldn't get mine to work. And the only way I got it working was because I added that. Let me see what this one is called. EMU. Okay. And this is for the Marvel stuff. And that one need to be in ROM. Okay. First I thought maybe something I didn't do, but this is the file you need to be here, and this file you need to have it. Okay, so by adding those, then mine start working. All right. Let me get some water. I guess I got a habit talking loud because I thought, in old time, telephone used to be you call long distance to other country, yes, speak real loud because you worry the other side couldn't hear you. But now the technology is much, much better now. There's no such thing as that kind of problem. All right. So once you download that, let's make this one smaller, and so you could see my excuse me, my folder structure. I think I minimized the one. Okay. So let's go ahead and go to the retro. Let's talk about retro first, and then we will talk about the Neogeo arcade stick, because you need to get the retros correctly in setup. Okay. Now there's three things you have to do. This is bin, mbio, and quartz. Okay. If you don't have all the core downloaded, I have 198 cores. Okay. You might say, where'd you get that? Well, I've been playing with RetroArch for a long time. Not long time with different console. Okay. Not just directly on retro. I'm not expert in retro. Okay. I don't want to mislead people just because I say I played with it a long time ago. I use this a lot with a lot of different kind of a system, like AIWO console, and also the A13, A12. They use this too. Okay. So and then PlayStation Mini, they use retro as well. Okay. So those are the collection I got, and also when you go to that website, you could download this yourself. You just download it and unzip it. See, here's some of them I download. Neogeo, Final Burnout, Neo. You download it and then you just unzip it. And if you unzip it, this is what's inside. It's just this file right here. Okay. So you just replace it. All right. Now, before you replace it, you might want to rename your old one just in case you want to go back. Like this one, see, I rename it. And if you don't rename it, you don't know what date this is. This is September 13 on this version. And this one is February 19. Now, doesn't mean the latest version will work. I find out some of them, the older version, work better than the newer version. So you do want to make a copy in case that you bring one over and it's worse than the new one. You say, oh my goodness, how did I get my old one back? But you can always unzip it again to get it. Okay. But this one, I put it. This one you could download it from that site I just showed you. So you wanted to put all your download here, which is we track a little bit. This is right here. Okay. You just click on it. Like you want to download this one, Final Burnout. You click on it, and it's going to ask you where you want to download it. Then you're going to point to your flash drive if you have enough space, or your hard drive. Might have enough space, so I'm going to point to the folder called Retro. Okay. Now when you download it, it's going to give you some. It's going to give you most of the home console that you're using that they Neo on his YouTube channel that he have demo. So those core are in there. Okay. But if you want an extra one like Final Burnout, all that stuff, then yeah, you need to go into the quartz folder. So those are all the one I download. You download those and then you unzip it. Okay. All right. So let's cancel the download. So that's how you download it. All right. Once you finish download it, you could keep the zip. You could delete it. It's up to you. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't harm anything by keeping it. And then the next thing you want to do is you want to have the bio. Okay. Some of the bio have folder and some of them don't. Okay. So you want all this bio. Okay. You're like, well, Johnny, where do I get the bio? All right. Again, go back to my link. Okay. It's a free software. It's a free link. So you just go to the link I'll put on the description, which is where is my bio? Oh, I don't have my bio. All right, let me go back to my text file And where's the bio? RetroArch Core, Retro binary. I didn't have it. All right, let me go get it and I'll be right back. Okay, this is the link that you need to go to. All right, and this is the same place where a lot of people ask me, Johnny, where do I go search for a ROM pack? A ROM pack means is more than one file. Okay, is multi-file. Like this one is all the bio you need, and you could download the one zip file, and then you could unzip it, and there's a lot of file in there. Okay, or you could use torrents, because sometimes when you download the file is too big, in your browser will say the file is too big, you can't download it, so you use the torrents. Okay, and so you just download this one. So let me add that to my link. So to download the bio, now this is the same place where you're going to find the same place you're going to find pretty much everything. The ROM, idle hack is all going to be in this this site called archive.org. Okay, so that is the place you will look for. Okay. All right. Why my system not minimizing again? Okay. So this is where you're going to download it. So if you're going to download the ROM pack, let's just click on it, see what happened. There's the main, the system. You want to download the system and the main as well. So you click download. It's going to ask you where you want to put it. You could go ahead and put it in the. It's best to put on your PC if you don't have enough space on your flash drive. Mine, like I say, have 2 terabytes in it, so I have a lot of space to do that. If you don't, put it on your computer, unzip it, and then transfer it over. So you just go to the retro, and you go to the bio, and you could download it, and then you could unzip it. Okay, so that's how you do it. You download both of them, unzip. You just extract here. All right. Let me put it on my. Let me put it on my. Let me put it over here. Let me create a folder called the bio, so I would know what this thing that I just download. Okay, so you save that, and then you do the same thing with this one, and the download is pretty fast. Download that. Then you just unzip it and put that into your retro bio. Okay, so you download this and then you put it into the retro. So let me add that to the. I can't find my text file. Okay, so you download this, then you unzip system.zip, then copy the unzip into your RetroArch / BIOS folder. Okay, and that's how you get your bio. Okay, so once those two is finished downloading, yeah, it's still downloading. Then you pretty much pretty close to finish setting up this one. So we did the port, we went over the bio, now we go to the bin. Now Neo did a great job of explaining to you, so I'm just going to briefly go over it so you guys will understand. Say, want to make sure I cover everything. So you go to one of this bio. Let's see if I have some already open already. Okay, now you might say, well, how do you know which one to use? Well, because I used to have RetroArch, and I'm cheating. I'm looking at my Atari links, and I'm using Handy. Atari 800. I'm using Pro system. So if you want to create Atari 7800, you have to use Pro system. All right. So we're going to open one of this, and we're going to open, I guess it doesn't matter which one. The old one is like NES, all that stuff. Let's use Neogeo CD. Let's open that, and then you could look at it, and then also we could change it to Atari 7800. Okay. See, Neogeo CD that I'm using that work, I'm using the Final Burnout Neo. Okay. And for Atari, let's just say file, save as. We're going to save it in the same place called bin. Uh, I call it Neogeo ASP so I know which flash drive is what. So I won't get confused. That's the only reason. You don't have to put a name, but I put a name so I know this iDrive is Neogeo Arcade Stick Pro, and this is Neogeo Mini. Okay. So in retro bin, you're gonna save this, and I'm going now. It's gonna say BAS. Okay. Don't get confused. You don't want any extension, so you're gonna select all type. And then when you type it, it will disappear. ATR, and I'm gonna call this 7800. Okay, you could call any name you want it. You could even use the physical name, here. But the problem, if you're not familiar what that is, you're not gonna understand what's that for. So it's best to call it where you understand that this is retro. This is Atari 7800. Okay, so we're gonna save it. Now this is a wrong quote. So you're gonna say, well, which quote do we use? Based on the one I was looking at for Atari 7800, you will use this one. Okay, so I'm gonna copy that and then go back to the one I just opened, which is Atari 7800. Now I can't find it. I thought I saved it. All right, let me find it. Okay, I have it open on this side, so that way I don't have to go back and forward looking for it. So I put it on this side. Now, like we use a Neogeo CD, Neo CD to change the name to, we call this one Toy. We call this one in RetroArch Atari 7800. Okay, but this code is wrong. So this is the correct name you want it. Now you don't want to use the whole name. You just use the before the underscore Libertro or library retro. Okay, if you break it down. So we're gonna use the Pro system and for the Atari for this one. Okay. Now here's the thing. The reason we create this because we are trying to create a menu. Like if you don't create this, you cannot use the hilo stick hack in the menu. You will have to use retro to open it each time. So by you doing that, you could create a whole screen. You could create a background, you create animation, and then you have a little picture, and then you could just click on it, and without have to go to retro. Okay, that's the only good things about it. That's the reason we're doing this. If you plan to play all the game directly from retro, you don't need to set this up. Okay, this is only if you want to play using retro chords but run on top of hilo stick hack, pretty much. So I'm saving that. I'm gonna click save. Now you were saying, well, Johnny, how do you know this is the correct one? Because I played this on I played this on my AIW core, but then at the same time, do we have this file? we want to make sure we download this. If we don't have this, it won't work on the folder. So we need to go check the website or check to see if the one I just created is it in the courts. Is Pro System in here? If it's not in here, we need to download it. Otherwise, this will not work. Okay, so we're going to view by name. We're going to look at the Pro. Start with a P. Let's type P. Get there quicker. Okay, POR Pro System is there. Okay. If it's not there, where do you go? You go to this website right here. One of this link right here, and you look for Pro System. If you want to play Atari 7800, so you look for Pro. Now, when you download RetroArch, it won't have this core. So you do have, the reason I have it because I already transfer everything over. So you will have to look for Pro. It's coming right there, Pro System. All right. So you will have to download this. Okay. If you want to play Sega Genesis and Sega CD, you need to download this one. Now this one is already there. Okay. This console already there, but different console is not there. For Atari 7800, you will have to download. All right. So I already have this, so I'm good. So the binary and the core are matching. Okay. So I'm good with that. So let me minimize this. So if you look at a physical file in the core folder, this file is right now here and it's for Atari 7800. So this one is set up for 7800. To set up CD, let's look at the Sega CD, because Sega CD is a little bit different. So we're gonna go to Sega CD and we're gonna go all the way down because all the new stuff is at the bottom. Okay. Now here's two Sega CD. One is called Final Fight and one is called the Catalog Dinosaur. Okay, that's a driving action game. Now you're gonna say that's not the physical name. It's not. You want to get rid of all the space. For hdisk, it does not take space or open quote, all that stuff. So let's look at it. So where you put all your ROM, the new ROM you download, you're gonna go to ROMs folder. Okay. When you unzip the retro, you will get retro and a folder called ROMs. Okay. Inside there's nothing in there. It just say put something in here. Okay. Now you could create a different folder. I recommend create a different folder so you won't get confused because they all have sometimes they have same name. So create a folder. So if you are doing Sega CD, create a folder called Sega CD. Okay. I recommend put everything in lowercase. Now this is for different consoles, so it doesn't matter have space, have dash, everything work great with space and everything. But with high-low stick, it don't like space. It doesn't like funny character other than alphabet and number. You only take alphabet and number, okay? So don't put uppercase, leave everything lowercase. Go to Sega CD, okay? Inside the Sega CD, I put a create folder called Final Fight, create a folder called Sega. So it's more organized, okay? Because there is two files in there. So if you go to Sega Final Fight, there is, when you unzip a file, it's going to create bin and cue, okay? Now, some of you, when you unzip it, some of you might not get a bin and cue. You might say, well, how do I get bin cue? When I download it, it comes with CHD. So I guess I have to upload that for you guys. There is a program called CHD, and you just run the batch file. So I'm not trying to go to the different topic, but you do have to know that. Otherwise, you're gonna get a whole bunch of CHD. Like sometimes Sega Genesis have a CD have 1 to 10 or 1 to 20 file of bin. but you only need one bin. Now, how do you make one bin? Because if you pick only one, sometimes the music won't work. So you're like, well, how am I going to pick up only one? So use this program called CHD man.exe, and I'll upload this one so you could download. You go into here, you put your CHD file inside here, and then you want the batch file. So I already convert all this from here. I convert this to this. It's very fast. You could put I put a like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I do it all at one time by clicking the batch file. So this is the batch file that will include it with the download. So this is a tool that is very important that you need. So you could convert your CUE and bin into CHD. Why you want to do that if you need bin? Well, if you have 3 or 4 files, you want to change it to one file and then change it back. And when you change it back, you're going to pick this one. And when you change it back, it's going to become only 2 files, 1, 2. You won't get a whole bunch of this. You started with a whole bunch. You have to create a folder. If you download something, you unzip it, you find that there is 10 final file, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Okay. And then you're like, what I'm going to do. So you take those files, put it in the folder called final file, and then you run this program. Okay. It will look for all the folder that have final file CD or whatever it might be. Okay. And then it will compress it into CHD for you. Then you take that and you convert it back to CUE and BIN. Okay, so that's how you do Sega CD. That's how you do Neogeo CD. That's how you do PC Engine. Whatever one that is a CD, you will have to convert it. Now, if you change the name like this, it will not work. Just FYI. Okay. And so you're like, okay, well, will it work with zip file? No, it won't work on zip file. You have to be BIN CUE. Now, will it work on BIN? No, it won't. It work only CUE. Okay. All right. So here's it is very confusing. If you guys understand what I'm saying, you're good. But if you guys don't understand what I'm saying, you will be very confused. Okay. So what I did is I take this name and take out all the space. Take out all the space and name this to this. I mean, not to this, to this. Okay. By name it to this, it does not work. Okay. You have to name this to that. Now, inside this folder, you have, if you edit this file, you have all the track. So Final Fight actually have more than one CD. You have 1, 2, 3, got all the way down to 26 binary bin file. So if you actually download it, you unzip it, you will get 26 Final Fight. And you're like, well, which one I need? You need all of them. So that's why you need a CHD to compress it to CHD and then uncompress it back to only 2 files, to one big bin. Okay. In here, if you change the file, you have to change inside. But with hdisk, again, you don't touch this. You leave this file alone. You don't change it. You change it, it won't work. That's why it took me a long time figure this out. So don't change this name. Leave this name alone. Okay. And once you rename it, okay, you pretty much you just take this and then get rid of the UID, get rid of the uppercase, make it lowercase, get rid of the uppercase F, make it to a lowercase f, and same thing with this one. Okay. Okay. And then you could put F, or I'm going to put number 2 because I'm just giving you an example. Okay. This is the only one you're going to change. All right. Then you need this file in order for it to run, but you're not going to put that in your ROM info. Okay. So you're going to go back to your ROM info and you are going to use this one. Okay. Now I call it final file CD2. So you take this file and you put it over here. Okay, so that's how you create this. And this folder right here is over here. See that? Is Sega CD Final File CD. All right. So that's what this is. This one. Okay, the ROM folder. Okay. This too is a computer language. You don't see that, but that's when Linux see it as a physical mounting hard drive to the system. Okay, so don't get that confused. You don't want to change that. You leave that alone. You leave this alone. Okay, don't change that. That's part of the Linux language that they need that information. Okay, so but everything from here you want to match ROM, Sega CD, Final CD, exactly like this. Okay, but if you copy this, you need to change it to facing this way. Don't leave it like this. Don't copy like this and put it here and expect it to work. It's not going to work that way. Okay, if you do like this, okay, it's not going to work. You have to put /, not backslash. Okay, /, change that to /, and then you're good. All right. So for hilo stick, you need this in here. Now, like I say, if you're running this directly from Retro, you don't need none of this thing set up. You just open load core, load game, and that's it. You don't need to do this. But it's a little bit hassle. Every time you play a game, you have to find the chord, you have to find the ROM, you have to find the correct. So if you set this up correctly, like Sega CD is going to pull the correct chords for you, then you don't have to do this every time. You just set it up one time, and you're good to go. Okay, so that's how you do Sega CD. All right, so do not change this name. Don't change it. Just change this. All right. So that's just I'm just demo that just to show you how what the original file looked like, and then in order for it to work, you change it to this. Okay. Don't just take the zip file and then just see inside the zip file have two files. And it doesn't work that way. So you have this two file. So when I unzip it, I get this two. Okay, but you don't want it to. When you use a zip file, it do not work. I already tried it. Do not work. So don't use a zip file. Use this one. Okay. Now Neogeo, same thing, same exact thing. So you go to Neogeo, create a folder called Neo or whatever we're going to call it. I call it Neogeo CD right here. That's Neogeo, sorry. Neogeo CD right here. I just call it Neo CD. Okay. In the Neogeo CD, it does not work with those files. Okay. You have to create another folder. Name this. I made a copy. That's the reason I do like this. I do copy, and then I paste it, and then have double copy, and then I get rid of all the space. So you're gonna go get rid of all the space. You don't need the world. It's okay. Don't need the world. Get rid of the T. Well, if you want, make it easier, just say, and then get rid of the hyphen. That will mess it up for sure. And that's a special character. Hilo stick don't like that, so you need to take it out. It's only because of hilo stick. Okay, that's why we're doing this. All right. All right. Now, also let you know, if you use a hilo stick and you change all this, RetroArch will have issue playing this game because you change. That's why you need to have one of this. You don't want to change this one and only have one of this, and you don't have, because if you run this program, it's going to look for this. Okay, because inside this folder have stuff that you need. You need to know where all the stuff, all the music and sound come from. Okay, you need to know all this. Okay, so you cannot name this name and the binary need to match. For only for hilo stick, it will not match. But for most of the game you play in Raspberry Pi or anything, those two names have to match. Otherwise, will not work. So do not change one of them and leave the other one. Delete this one and only have this, because then if you go try to play with Retro, you might run into a problem because it's missing this file. Okay, so that's why you have 3 files. Okay, so you got 1, 2, 3. All right. Same thing with so this is I'm sorry, this is same thing with Sega and same thing with the Neogeo CD. So you need to leave, you're gonna have the original one, and the new name. And you can put the new name in the ROM folder, rominfo folder, which is this one right here. So if you create a Neogeo CD, down here, you're gonna put down Neogeo CD Final Fight 98. Okay. Here you could call whatever name you want to call it. This name and this name do not have to match. Just FYI. Okay. That's only for artwork. This picture need to match with game INI. Because if game INI is not matched with that, it won't find it. Okay. So this name and your game INI have to match. So let's go look at game INI. Right. So that's the information you need to know. Same thing with all the games don't have space. Okay. So for Pocket, you don't need to zip it up. For PC, for Neogeo Pocket, you have to make the name like this. You won't work with space, parenthesis. This one, none of this will work. You need to change all this. You could get rid of Japan if you want to leave it on. Just make sure you don't have the parenthesis, and get rid of space, no space, and get rid of the S. Make a lowercase s. Okay. Now all these things you change. I don't know, the retro will have problem trying to load those because those are not the original name. Okay, but for high-low it will work. For high-low stick you have to name it like that in order for it to work. Okay, and one thing about main, you don't need to change anything. You just pick the correct chord and it will work. You don't need to change nothing here. No name need to change. Okay, let me see. So CD, we cover that. Let's cover the PC engine, Turbo 16. Okay, Turbo 16 original name is not called Bunk 3. The original name is actually, now I have zip file because I was testing this. This is the original file. Okay, it does not like the USA open parenthesis. It doesn't like the -s. So I got rid of all this, change it to look like this. Okay, so for example, if I was to unzip this, extract here, this is what it looked like. Okay, so I get rid of all this and change the 3 to number 3, and then this same thing with that one. Now those zip files do not work here, so it's just there because I rename it, but it still doesn't work. So the code does not recognize this as a zip. Now let me take that back. Some different code does recognize a zip file, but it still do not like the space, do not like the open close parenthesis, doesn't like the -s, doesn't like the dash, that, and uppercase. So I got rid of all those. Just to be safe, I just get rid of those. Because yes, it might accept uppercase. I don't know 100%, but it probably will. But to play it safe, I just get rid of all the uppercase, get rid of all the space. Definite space will not work. Underscore might work. Hyphen, I'm not sure, but the little minus sign, it might work, but the dash s probably will not. Open close parenthesis will not work, so you need to get rid of those. All right, so then you're going to take this file, you copy, and then you paste it here. For now, the moonwalk, just to FYI, if you have a moonwalk in your arcade stick, which I do, you need to call the name different. Like I did here, I put Final Burnout in front of it, because otherwise, for example, I'm going to do a search. I don't think I have that one. Maybe I'm going to do a search for that. I just highlight and then I do a search. Okay, I don't have a second one, but if you have a second one, it's going to load the one from Neogeo hack. It won't load this one. It won't load from RetroArch. Okay, so make sure you have something different. Now, this is not the correct. This game actually worked better with not FB Neo, but actually May 2003. Okay, when I first tested, I used this one. It worked, but it's very slow. The sound was very slow. So then I used this one. Okay, and that's pretty much covered those. So naming is very important that you need to name it correctly. All right, so let's look at game INI. We have a look at game INI. So game INI is located in retro because what we are doing right now, what we are setting up is for hide or hack. So not retro, I'm sorry. Arcade stick. So looking for this one. Okay. Now in here we those are the ROM info. Those are the two files that you need to set up correctly. Those two. Otherwise you will have issue. And then in here you have location. Now you could add it any place. So for example, if I have ones called arcade beta, okay, those games do not work well. All right, remember those games is called the beta version. Okay, if I want to use Final Burnout or May 2000 or May 3 2003, I have to change this, and I have to. I mean, I could keep the same name, but I have to change this to uh point to this. Okay, I mean not to that one, but to like May 2003. So all those 39 games that do not play well, I will have to change the 39 game. Okay, I have to change all those to point to the correct one. Okay, otherwise it will have issue. Okay, so I have to let's go ahead and do one and see if it work. Let's go find this one. Now I don't know, does it work with May 2000 or May 2003? That I don't know. So you have to do a lot of testing to see which one it worked the best. Okay, so we found this one right here. And so I want to keep the picture the same. I want to keep the zip file the same. The zip file is going to come from the same place. The only thing I'm going to do is change this to run the, so I'm going to use a Final Burnout Neo, okay, because I'm using Final Burnout. So I could also change this one to Final Burnout Neo. That's the one that is running. If you're looking at this, let's go ahead and save that. It's running from here. See this selection. So originally it was using FBA. It was using this one. Okay, those are emulator. Now I told it to, don't use that one. Use this one. Okay, and this one is the one that have the the setup. Okay, so we're gonna try that and see if it work. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I don't know, did I miss anything? Please leave a comment. Let me know what other stuff you might run into, and maybe I could try to figure out how to do live chat again. I apologize, the live chat did not go well. When I moved the camera, everything got we all my hard drive. I have some issue with my laptop again. All my connection went away and went back in, and then the YouTube channel did not come back up. So I went to black screen. So I apologize for that craziness, but hopefully this video will help. Uh, like I say, it's going to take a lot of work to set this up, but I think the group they have not abandoned you guys. They are coming out with instruction like how to do this, and they will be coming out with a newer pack, so that will fix most of the arcade game that you guys having problem with, and that it will, instead of pointing to emulator, it will point to arcade retro. Like this one I just changed. Sorry, this one that I just changed. Only thing you have to do is just change the EMU to point to the retro, and that's all you have to do. You don't have to, and you could, what you could do is highlight all the one that is the one that's 39 game, and then just do you just do control, F, and then replace. That you could do this and say control F, and then replace it uh, with Neo. But you don't want to do that with everything, because because some of the emulator play fine, they don't have problem. Only the one that do not work well, and not all of them use Final Burnout Neo. Some of them use May May 2000, or May 2003, or May 2010, or 2016. So don't assume that you change that it will work, because some of them will not work, and then you're gonna have more bigger headache trying to figure out which one do not work. So that's why it will take a long time to figure out which one is the best one to use. Okay, it's like when I first set up the arcade, it took me a long time testing the game. I have to go one by one testing the game, see which one work, and then create the artwork, create the background, create the icon, create this, create the path, create the ROM information. So all this, I just don't have time to do all that, because I have a pipe busted. I just put my training on hold so I could go fix my leak, and which is fixed already, but my ceiling had to be replaced, so I had to go do all that and fix all that. So I'm planning to do that over the weekend. So I took some time to understand this. So now I'm doing a video to just explain to you guys, and hopefully that will help. All right. So we could go and test those two games, see if it work. And let's go ahead and reject it, and let's test. All right.